Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out a video titled Trump Goes Nuts as German Auto Giants Just Left America. US auto industry could cripple. Hey, I'm not going to lie to you. When it comes to cars in the United States, it's as simple as this. German cars are the ones that are seen as prestigious and respected, right? And I'm talking about affordable vehicles. I'm not talking about the Italians, because the Italian cars, the Ferrari, the Lamborghini, well, technically Lamborghini is Volkswagen now, so that's a whole different conversation, right? So German cars are seen as the, oh yeah, you got a little cash on you, brother, right? So, hey, if this is true, this is quite an unfortunate situation. I really don't want to lose these things in the United States, but I really hope that all these things just wash away like a rainy day. You know what I mean? But we're gonna be checking out this video right now. So thank you guys for watching. Please do let me know your thoughts and feedback about the situation in the comment section down below. And yeah, without further ado, man, let's check this out.
And we're working on a deal where the European Union will agree to pay a 25% tariff on all Mercedes-Benzes, BMWs coming into our nation.
But the engine is now starting to slow down. Massive layoffs, factory closures, and rising competition are shaking the very foundation of Germany's industrial strength.
Trust in the development of the China automotive market, especially in the premium segment for the long term.
That we want to signal to our investor that that money is available for future buybacks.
German luxury car brands Mercedes, BMW, and Audi, which have been established in the US market for decades and are synonymous with luxury, found themselves cornered by the Trump administration's unexpected tariffs and the possibility of further measures. President Donald Trump has made it clear that he intends to impose astronomical tariffs on imported parts, stating, "If you don't produce here, you can't sell here." The automotive industry, which operates like a delicate lacework of complex global supply chains, has seen a chain reaction begin rapidly after colliding with President Trump's tough tariff wall. The European Union will accept a 25% payment, and we are working on an agreement where all Mercedes-Benz and BMW vehicles will be subject to a 25% tariff, Trump said. There were no press conferences or lengthy negotiations. Just a single social media post.
Can I be honest with you? It just really hit me, right? I'm not sure if I'm accurate on what I'm going to say right now, right? But do you know how expensive it is to have these cars in Finland, right? Some of you guys know that I moved to Finland, right? Finland has a very high tax, and they have import tax on vehicles. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 25%, right? And I am telling you that I've seen a lot of German vehicles that I would love to have, like, the German BMW has a 340i, the M340i. That's a beautiful car. The M3. Those are two of my favorite BMWs at the moment, right? I'm not a big M5 guy, right? But the M3 and the 340i BMW are amazing. They're great vehicles, four-door sedans or the hatch, right? And I love those cars. I cannot dream of getting that car in Finland. Them things is expensive, right? But if you guys want to check, just go and check for one of those cars in Finland compared to Germany. Let me know the price. I haven't checked the difference from both countries, but I can tell you there's going to be a significant larger amount, like probably, I don't know, $25,000 difference. I don't know. So yeah, this would literally just mess everything up, bro. Like, I'm actually so depressed watching this video.
How did the US end up on the brink of losing German giants? We will examine the details of the latest developments and conflicts around the world together. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and like our content to stay updated. The Germans realized that with this additional cost, they would either have to skyrocket prices or incur massive losses per sale. Neither option was sustainable. The result, a swift decision to pull out. How did this happen? Why did it happen? And what dynamics are at play? Consider that the BMW plant in Spartanburg, South Carolina, was producing 270,000 SUVs annually, selling them domestically and exporting them worldwide. Mercedes was assembling popular models like the GLE and GLS in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Audi was also gaining ground in the US market with its imported luxury sedans and SUVs. In a world where tariffs can change overnight, the imposition of a 25% general tariff, coupled with tariffs of up to 200% on imported components such as engines, electronic control units, and digital instrument panels, suddenly imposed thousands of dollars in additional costs on these companies. If we pass these costs on to consumers, no one will buy the vehicles. If we don't, we'll incur massive losses on every car. The only option left is to withdraw. Dealers were shocked when they heard the news on social media in the morning. Brand new German luxury cars remained idle in showrooms. Warranty, spare parts, and service are all up in the air. While German car brands' assembly plants in the US are partially local, many parts come from Slovakia, Germany, Mexico, or other countries. When tariffs suddenly reached up to 200% on all these imported components, such as engines, electronic control units, and digital instrument panels, the numbers didn't add up. Not only did costs increase by thousands of dollars per vehicle, but supply chains also faced the risk of complete disruption in later stages. Instead of panicking, management boards did some quick math. Passing on price increases to consumers was nearly impossible, and writing off massive losses per vehicle was unsustainable. Not only dealers, but also countless businesses, from financial institutions to vehicle logistics companies, automobile accessory manufacturers to advertising agencies that are part of this massive ecosystem, will suffer serious losses. The luxury car culture melted away in a single evening. The Trump administration, however, continued its hardline stance, stating, "We are protecting our country's interests. The factory will either stay here or it won't exist at all." From the factory's perspective, the picture is even more bleak. The BMW Spartanburg plant in South Carolina was the production hub for the X-Series SUVs that brought global success to the company. Similarly, Mercedes had been operating in Alabama Tuscaloosa for years, providing jobs to thousands of Americans. Now, these factories are either closing down or shifting production capacity to other countries. First, looking at the vehicle sales figures of these brands in the US, it was estimated that they had reached a total sales volume of approximately 950,000 units by the end of 2024, 1 year before the withdrawal. The combined revenue of the three companies during this period was estimated to be between $55 billion and $60 billion, accounting for roughly 6% of the US automotive market. Therefore, even when considering market share alone, the loss of such a significant share in a short period of time has effectively erased billions of dollars from the US. Annual vehicle sales volume. Looking at the numbers in more detail, BMW produces an average of approximately 270,000 X-Series SUVs annually at its Spartanburg, South Carolina facility, with about 70% of this production remaining in the US, domestic market, and the remainder exported. This production represented an activity that was...
But I don't get the problem. Like, if things are already being manufactured in the United States, why is such a severe tariff? Like, I do get the vision. Don't think I don't get the vision that Donald Trump is trying to achieve here. He's trying to achieve manufacture in the country, which then provides more jobs in the country, so on and so forth, right? I do get that. But the extreme tariffs to get what he wants doesn't really make sense, because the extreme tariffs will put a production company in a situation where they're like, okay, we cannot put this on the consumer, because if we do put that on the consumer, we're going to lose sales. It's that simple. They're not going to buy the product anymore, right? Because they cannot afford it, right? That's one. Number two, what's going to happen is that they're either going to have to take the loss, which is going to affect them even more, right? Which makes no sense. So it's a lose-lose situation any way you take it. The solution would be obviously to make the company or the business in the United States, which is not going to take 1 day or 2 days or possibly a year. It's a factory. It's huge. It needs a lot of work, right? So that is going to take a lot of happening. So it's going to, like, literally Trump would be out of office before they even get an opportunity to complete that. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? I understand what he's trying to achieve, but the way how he's going at it makes no sense to me. But you guys can let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below, and what would your solution be, and do you think this is bullshit, or do you think, yeah, amazing?
expected to generate approximately $14 billion in revenue for BMW in 2024 alone. Mercedes, on the other hand, produced around 260,000 SUVs, such as the GLC, GLE, and GLS at its Alabama Tuscaloosa facility, generating approximately $13 billion in domestic sales and export revenue. Audi, while not engaging in direct local production, imported and sold an average of 230,000 to 250,000 sedans and SUVs annually in the US market, generating approximately $15 billion in sales revenue. In the business model of these three brands, a portion of production took place in the US, while a significant portion of key components and technologies were sourced from Germany or other countries. The tariffs imposed by the Washington administration on imported parts, reaching up to 200%, not only pushed the assembly lines in Tuscaloosa and Spartanburg into impossible costs, but also pushed sales models like Audi's, which were entirely dependent on imports, to the brink of collapse. Yet BMW, Mercedes, and Audi had built massive plans over decades, trusting in the US market, designing new electric model launches for the US, and investing billions of dollars in prototype testing. A tariff wall swept away thousands of pages of strategic projects. On the European side, a new global axis began to emerge. China is opening its doors to German brands, saying, "Our doors are open to you." New German design studios have been established in Shanghai, Beijing, and Shenzhen.
Yo, we cook, bro. We cook. We cook. Like, bro, we cook. I've seen a Chinese car in Finland. I've never seen a Chinese car before in my life. I done seen one in Finland about a month ago. And them things popping up like, brr, and they cheap too. And they look good. Oh my God, we're so cooked. Oh my gosh. This is the thing, you know, like, the truth is, the United States and China partners, in my humble opinion, way more than Europe and China does, right? So if China and Europe starts to partner with each other, that's not a good look for the United States. You know what I mean? Because, oh God, man, like China is a big market, and the European Union is quite a big enough market as well. Oh my God. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I don't know what to think. I'm just so confused at why? Just why? Why are we doing this? I don't know.
New agreements have been signed between China and Germany in the fields of electric vehicle revolution and advanced autonomous driving technologies. Mercedes announced its investment, saying, "We will develop the new EV platform we previously planned for the US in China." BMW announced, "We are building a major production hub in Chengdu instead of the US." Audi stated, "The growth potential..."
Are these real facts? No, if these are real facts, I'm gonna cry. Dude, are you serious? Oh my gosh.
In the Asian market is higher and the political risk is lower, expressing its intention to expand its presence there. This was a double blow for the US. It lost German brands and inadvertently opened the door for them to strengthen their position in a rival region. In the long term, one might have thought that domestic producers like Ford and GM would fill the void. However, the supply chain remains chaotic. The departure of German companies has disrupted part of the supply chain. Additionally, many critical components imported by the US come from Europe. This has increased production costs, raised prices, and made products more expensive for consumers. Economists say Trump made this move to protect domestic industry, but in the end, he also shook up the American car market. Some are trying to be optimistic, saying, maybe there will be short-term difficulties, but in the long run, the US will establish its own supply chain. Still, uncertainty prevails. Some digital platforms are already reviewing their strategies out of concern that companies could face a similar decision at any moment. Was this really necessary? One group argues, yes, they have been profiting from the US market for a long time, but they did not create real jobs here. Trump was right. They could have moved production here, but they didn't. Others counter, Mercedes-Benz has been manufacturing in Alabama for decades. BMW provides jobs for thousands in South Carolina. We've lost all of that with this policy. If they weren't profitable, they had no choice but to leave. In the end, the answer to who comes out on top remains a mystery. German companies may try their luck in Asia. They may also continue in the US, but under better conditions. The US, meanwhile, wants to establish a new autonomous vehicle ecosystem. But in the short term, everyone is counting their losses. Germany, on the other hand, is redrawing the global trade model, saying that the Trump administration is unpredictable and inflexible. China is likely to turn the situation to its advantage by attracting German luxury goods to its own country, thereby increasing its global power in the automotive industry. From a macroeconomic perspective, analysts predict that the US will experience a direct decline of around $40–45 billion in automotive trade volume. Considering that the US's total automobile and parts imports amounted to $350 billion in 2024, this figure is significant. More importantly, some of the vehicles produced in these factories were also exported to global markets. For example, BMW X5 and X6 models produced in Spartanburg were exported to European and Asian markets as made in the USA. When this export channel closes, it is estimated that the US's total automotive exports will decline by $15 billion. Ultimately, while the departure of German companies may seem to have reduced import dependency, it also deprived the US of export revenues. When the losses of supplier companies are added, it is reported that at least 2,500 companies in the supply chain have either gone bankrupt or downsized. These companies supplied parts to both German OEMs and local brands, but the majority of their business volume was Germany-based. Therefore, in a scenario without German companies, the closure of the factory also significantly ended the operations of local suppliers. Worse still, when German companies left the US, suppliers couldn't see new opportunities on the horizon. Some considered moving to Mexico or Canada, but the main market remained the US, and without German brands, the production gap needed to be filled somehow. Economists estimate that the automotive supply chain could lose up to $4 billion in business volume. Clearly, no one's position is guaranteed in any market. This is an era where even giants like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi may have to face the sound of the closing bell. The story of these luxurious and legendary German brands in America serves as a stark reminder of this reality. What are your thoughts on this matter? Please share your opinions in the comments section. To stay updated on new videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications.
My thoughts is, this ain't needed, brother. Like, if we gonna throw some tariffs on somebody, bro, like, can we just please do not sky high it, bro? Like, this sucks, bro. I'm so disappointed, man. Like, bruh. This is horrible. I don't even know what to say no more, boy. Like, I'm just in a phase where I'm like, I get it, okay? I get it. I'm not gonna act as if I'm dumb. I get it. Donald Trump wants, for manufacturing to be in the United States, which I understand, which if manufacturing is in your country, it creates jobs and it's less in terms of, imports and so on and so forth, right? I get all of that. But the bully, way of going about it doesn't really help because, signing a contract or something is what's going to get things done. But like, okay, to find a factory is going to be so hard. Not to find it, but to find a place to build a factory is going to be hard. So you're going to have to go through a lot of, stuffed files and paperwork just to get the area. That's going to take you like a year, right? And then you got to start building. It's a factory. It's not a small thing. It's going to be big. It has to be big. So, that's going to run you up a couple months, up to possibly a year or so. Then you got to start getting jobs and bringing the equipments. You got to ship the equipments. The equipments cannot be shipped beforehand, right? Because you're going to need an equipment in the factories, right? That's going to take you probably a year or two because it's on the sea, right? So we're looking at already 3 years. We're already in the first term. So by the time Donald Trump is out of here, that's done. They're probably looking at that and be like, well, with all this force that he's going on with, right? It's not as if we start building the thing, we're going to, not have to deal with this tariff, right? They're looking at the fact that they're going to have to pay this tariff. So it's going to go to the consumer. or we're going to get affected. Either way, it's going to be a lose-lose situation. Oh, man. I hope I make some sense. You know what I mean? But the high tariffs is just not going to cut it, man. I don't think it's going to cut it. I don't think it's ever going to make the situation good. But thank you guys for watching this video. Please do let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment section down below. I'm out of here.